The Soviet T-34 and the American Sherman were the most produced tanks of World War II. In excess of 50,000 Shermans and more than 60,000 T-34s rolled off the production line. These two vehicles played a huge part in World War II. They fit together, but they're very different. We could compare them using archive footage and photos, but this time we have the two legends right here. The first serial copy of the Sherman came off the assembly line in February 1942. It replaced the out-of-date M3, and from this moment the American and British forces had a modern medium tank to fight their adversaries. The first serial copy of the Soviet medium tank was produced in June 1940. It was one of the best tanks in the early 1940s, an unprecedented combination of firepower, mobility, protection and ruggedness. A wide scope for modernisation is a common trait that unites these two tanks, and this ease in which the tanks could be improved allowed them to become legends and contribute significantly to victory. One of the main roles of any medium tank was to support the infantry and force a breach. This meant they had to be fast and manoeuvrable. The T-34 has a V12 diesel engine with 500 horsepower. The maximum speed of the tank is 54 kilometers per hour. The power-to-weight ratio of the T-34 is even better. 15.6 horsepower per ton, making the T-34 a very mobile tank, which was its main advantage. The Sherman's Ford V8 engine provides 500 horsepower and a maximum speed of 42 kilometers per hour. With the Sherman's weight of 38.1 tons, the engine gives 13.5 horsepower per ton, which is enough to climb hills and overcome different obstacles. Infantry support and the destruction of defensive lines was a key tank role. Tanks were designed with one purpose in life, and that was to break things. Now there are two things that I really hate. The first is reality TV, and the second is Mondays in the office. So let's put an end to both of these. The MGs are a critical part of any tank's weaponry. Some are better than others. This is one of my personal favourites, the world-famous Browning 50 cal. Let's try it. Firing! Now that was incredible. Of course, the machine guns were extremely effective against infantry and soft-skinned vehicles. But if you came up against armour, then of course you needed the might of the main armament. This Sherman has a powerful 76mm gun that can penetrate 100mm of armour with armoured-piercing rounds at 900 metres. The T-34 has a more powerful 85mm gun that could penetrate 100mm of armour with armoured-piercing rounds at 1,000 metres. The Sherman and the T-34 fought well. They smashed enemy defence lines and forced a breach. But the hardest challenge for them was meeting with the German heavy tank, Tiger. The Tiger I was one of the most powerful tanks of World War II. It could destroy Allied tanks from 2,000 metres and was almost impenetrable for them even from 1,000 metres. The meeting with the Tiger was always very bad news for the tank crew. Unfortunately, no one would lend us a real Tiger tank to shoot at. So we've had to get creative with another piece of German engineering, with a few added modifications, namely the steel plate. Thankfully, the mobility of medium tanks was good for avoiding hits, closing the gap and shooting at closer distance to penetrate the front armour. As you can see, both of our vehicles from exactly the same range have hit accurately with all their rounds. I think it's safe to say that the frontal armour has been penetrated and our Tiger has been completely destroyed. It's difficult to find fair ground to compare these two tanks. They were both legends of World War II that certainly more than played their part in bringing eventual victory to the Allies.